Monsters also have children. So, what it feels like to be a dictator's kid? Do they always follow their parents' path or choose a whole different life direction? Let's find out. Meanwhile, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell button for notifications to always be in tune with celebrity news. Have you ever wondered what happened to the children of Stalin, Mussolini, Pol Pot, and others? Even Hitler was said to have a child out of wedlock. It really is interesting to see what becomes of these individuals after their parents pass on or are removed from power. We collected stories from all over the world. They're all different, but some of them seem to have recurring themes. Number 1. Benito Mussolini. This well-known Italian dictator had 6 kids, but we will tell you about 2 of them. Ida Mussolini, his oldest daughter. She was involved in politics as well. If she had her way, she would have been fighting alongside the forces in the war. As it was, she served as a military nurse instead. After her husband was deemed a traitor by Mussolini's fascist forces, Ida disowned her father. On the contrary, his son Romano was defensive of his father, one of those keepers of a dictator's flame. Romano became a jazz pianist. He married Sophia Loren's sister and toured the world with the Romano Mussolini All-Stars, playing with the likes of Ella Fitzgerald, Duke Ellington, and Dizzy Gillespie. For a while, he did play under a different name. He called himself Romano Full. But then he discovered that Mussolini was more of a draw than a repellent, so decided to switch back to his father's name, Romano Mussolini. One more interesting character in this family is Alessandra Mussolini, the daughter of Benito Mussolini's son and his first wife, Anna Maria Schiccoloni. Alessandra has been all over the place. She's been a Playboy model, an actress, and a singer. The album was only released in Japan though, and is apparently quite the collector's item. She was also the leader of a right-wing political party and kicked the Minister for Equal Opportunities on talk show. She was even elected to the Italian Senate in 2013. Number 2. Joseph Stalin. This person made himself popular. Historians believe him to be one of the cruelest and most ruthless rulers in history. A tyrant like this has a family and children. Officially, he had 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter. Today, we will pay extra attention to his daughter, Svetlana. She was her father's favorite, which was very fortunate for her. Unlike her 2 brothers, who suffered severe addictions and even had suicidal attempts, Svetlana's life was a little different. She became an English translator. Svetlana wrote several books of memoirs about Stalin, which were popular for some time. In 1966, she applied for asylum in the United States while staying in India. At 45, she married a wealthy American and gave birth to a daughter. She was married overall 3 times, and all of her marriages were short and unsuccessful. After the second, Svetlana even ended up in a psychiatric hospital. As for her relationship with her father, well, she wanted nothing to do with him, and she refused to fall into the shadow of his demonic dictatorship. She ended up separating herself from his reputation, which is great. An honorable mention from this family is Stalin's great-grandson, Jacob Jugashvili. He is an artist, living in Georgia. He used to be ashamed of his family tree, but now he finds it something to be proud of. What would be your attitude if you were in his shoes? Would you be proud or ashamed of such heritage? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and we continue. Number 3. Nicolae Ceausescu. Romanian dictator faced the tragic end of his life via execution. His children, thankfully, had chosen a different path in their life. Son Valentin became a respected physicist and conducts nuclear research in Romania. Daughter Zoya, a mathematician. There also was a third brother, Nicu, who received all of his father's cruelty, if not more. Nicu was all set to succeed his father as the ruler of Romania, but thanks to the 1989 Stalinist revolution, he never got that chance. That's probably a good thing because Nicu was known for being a wild child. This is most likely what caused his early death at the age of 45. As for Valentin and Zoya, they didn't have completely innocent lives. Both were jailed for undermining the national economy. At some point, they both were released after 10 months of prison. And Zoya was also known as a nymphomaniac who drank like a fish. However, despite all of these unfortunate events, they maintained a distance from their father's horrific violence. Number 4. Pol Pot, Cambodian dictator who killed almost 2 million people, which is between a fifth and a quarter of the Cambodian population. Had only one daughter, Sarpachada. He treated her very lovingly, very tenderly, but she remembers him with great fondness. I want to meet my father and spend time with him in the next life, if the next life exists, she said according to the Daily Mail. In 2014, she got married, and the world relived history to recount how she grew up as a daughter of a dictator. Needless to say, Pachada was always lavished with gifts and a luxurious lifestyle. Her wedding was no exception. While the average people in Cambodia shouted in protest about poor working conditions and wages, Pachada got married in full looks fashion. Now she works as a rice farmer. Number 5. Princess Latifa of Dubai. This young woman is one of 25 children of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai. The Sheikh has transformed the emirate into a glittering city, a place people flock to for business and the playground of the region. As for Emirati women, the law and customs of the region make their lives very restrictive. Princess Latifa is an example of terror in the modern world. In February 2018, Latifa, together with her friend Tina, made a plan to escape Dubai and start a new life abroad in a free country, but it was not meant to be. According to Princess, she hadn't left the country since 2000. She wasn't allowed to travel, study, or do something normal. She was very excited and positive about her escape plan. She was dreaming of waking up and feeling free to do anything she wanted. The princess had no access to her passport and was under surveillance, so she had to slip out of Dubai and drive to the coast of Oman. It took hours to get out to international waters, riding a dinghy and jet ski. By the evening, she reached the yacht which was supposed to carry her to freedom. Latifa with Tina planned to sail across the Indian Ocean and then fly to the United States, where Latifa could try to claim political asylum. But 8 days later, as the coast of India neared, the escape went horribly wrong. Armed men boarded the boat. The friends hid in the bathroom until smoke grenades forced them up to the deck. They took Latifa, and that was the last time Tina saw her friend. Tina was taken back to the United Arab Emirates with the yacht's crew, where she was detained for 2 weeks. Then she began telling the story to the international media. She formed the campaign group Free Latifa and took the princess case to the United Nations. But nothing seemed to work until 2019, when Tina received a strange phone call. After being asked a series of questions, Tina was able to talk to Latifa. Princess found an opportunity to use a secret phone and contact her friend. She started recording video messages, revealing the truth about her imprisonment. After Latifa had been missing for 9 months, the United Arab Emirates was facing pressure. The United Nations had requested proof of life, or it would go public with concerns that the princess might have died. The governments of Dubai and the United Arab Emirates have said that Latifa is safe in the love and care of her family. One day, the contact with Latifa stopped, as dramatically as it has begun. Latifa is now in her 3rd year of imprisonment and solitary confinement, and nobody knows what happened to her. So, if you want to support Princess Latifa and be involved in her rescue, type #freelatifa.com in your Google search. On the official website, you'll find all the necessary information. Number 6. Adolf Hitler. You probably wondered why we haven't mentioned the most ruthless dictator the modern history had. Well, that's because he didn't have any children that we can tell you about. There are 5 living members of Hitler's bloodline, Hitler's father's first marriage, but they have vowed never to have children so that Hitler's legacy ends with them. However, there was one interesting person. Jean-Marie Laurey was just a French dude working on the railroad. But one day, his mother told him that his father was none other than Adolf Hitler. Believing that Hitler was his father turned the life of Laurey into an illusion. He wasn't a stable human being, and in the end, after first resisting the idea that he was Hitler's son, he embraced it and was proud of it. He also had a very strong resemblance to Hitler, as his son would. Was it really his son? His real son? Or it was just the crazy version of Laurey's mother? Well, we'll never know, but we can guess. Tell us what you think. And that's it. Leave a like, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and stay with us for more fascinating stories.